Welcome to Meet the Candidates 2024, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tim Zunker, and I am the president with the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Our hope is that these candidate interviews and profiles will help you, the voter, understand your choices when it comes to the 2024 election. We ask voters to arm themselves with the information necessary to make educated choices and to make casting your vote a priority. Please visit the Shakopee Chamber website at shakopee.org to find out more information about the upcoming election for Shakopee City Council. And this time I'd like to welcome Ryan Yttreness to join us. Thank you for, I wanted to get your name right. Thank you for joining us today. You can start off telling us a little bit about yourself, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Again, Ryan Yttreness. I live over on Evergreen Lane. I got 3 daughters, 2 of them still in college, one a little older, and just a 10-month-old granddaughter, so that's keeping us busy. Working in construction sales right now. In the past, I've spent time with the Shakopee Fire Department, and then I was a trucking manager for another demolition company before that.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. Let's get into those questions. First one is, why are you running for Shakopee City Council?
The reason I wanted to run is, there's a few different reasons, but, you kind of sit back and you see taxes and things, and you question things happening in the city, and it had just gotten to a point where I just couldn't sit back and let what I feel wrong things or wrong directions keep happening. So I wanted to get involved, hopefully be able to make a difference. I think with my time working with the city on the fire department, I might have a couple new, a couple ins that I know or things that I've seen from the inside that hopefully will be able to make a difference. Part of that is, maybe some of the direction or change the direction that we're going as far as bringing businesses in, some of the new housing developments and stuff coming in, and then just try to build some of the relationships with city employees and hopefully enhance some of that.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. If elected, what would your top 3 priorities be, and how would you plan to address them?
So, sort of like I said when I was running, is planning in the future growth of the city, be that business, commercial, and residential. I think we've hit a point we're growing so fast. It feels like we're going so fast that I don't know if everything's keeping up. If that's city services, if that's services through SPU. Or just the direction the city is growing. I've kind of questioned it as far as to address that issue, just working with city staff and making sure the right questions are getting asked, working with some of the developers that are coming into our city, and that, we're fully understanding what their plans are, and then also work with Shakopee Utilities to, are you capable and ready to take what's coming in? I also wanted to just, another reason was kind of just some of our spending and, city planning. Sometimes I question some of the things that the city has either purchased or is renovating. The Shakopee Pool project, I know that was a hot button issue. We spent a lot of money on it. It seems like it was just sort of, as I was sitting in some of those council meetings, just sort of tossed in there and voted in before we truly knew the costs and things like that. So we just want to make sure that we're spending correctly. I know, yes, we have one of the lowest percentages of tax increases, but it sure doesn't feel like that. And when I'm paying my taxes, when my home values are going up, the tax that I'm paying to the school is going up, and everything keeps going up. Yes, ours went up a little, but is there potential there for a tax decrease? My taxes since 2018 have gone up almost $3,000, and that's, everybody knows the market right now, you're not making as much money. So I'd like to just kind of address some of the spending and the taxes. And then the last would be kind of employee relations, like I hit on. Just to make sure that we're giving all of our employees ample opportunities for growth. I think long-term employees that have been here for 5, 10, 15, 20 years are of huge value. They know the cities, they know the streets, they know the sewers. public safety. They know, the ins and outs of who, the people are that they should be watching or should be helping. So to make sure that we're not losing staff to other cities for, if it's 5 or 10 cents an hour raise, just give them every opportunity they can, because we want to have them here for a long time. And I think that's a huge value. And the way that I would do that was just try to work with department heads, make sure that they're planning and they're thinking and they're coming up with new ideas, offer up some of the ideas that I may have, and just push them to be thinking always of growth and employee retention.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. What strategies do you propose for managing the city's budget while ensuring necessary services and infrastructure improvements?
So just kind of piggybacking on some of that, I kept up the working relationship with Shakopee Utilities, the working relationship with the Metawakan and Sioux community, working relationship with our townships. I know that we're pushing out that way, just to make sure that they're aware. I have heard from some in the townships that they don't want to be annexed, just to figure, and talk with them. Why don't they want to be? What are they, what is their thought process? What are they worried about? Do we need to annex them? So just, and again, ensuring that we're going, or asking the tough questions, if you will, that are we going the right way, and we're going the right way for the right reasons. There's one thing to grow for the right reasons because you need to, or are we just growing because we can? There's a lot of history. There's a lot of, families that have been around a long time in those townships, and I don't think that the relationship between the townships and our city administration is that good. I'd like to work to make that better. That we're having a working partnership. I know the relationship with the Metawakan and the community has gone up and down over the years, just to make sure that we're staying good neighbors with them, hopefully keep them as good neighbors with us. And just, for lack of a better way, kind of slow things down and take time to make sure that we're doing it right, and we're doing it right the first time. Ensuring some of the budgets, I think that there's some budgets that probably do need to go up. We probably do need more money in our public safety, police and fire. I think, they're a high value. The Shakopee Public Works, they just went through a union negotiation that was pretty brutal. It was probably needed to happen. So some of those, yes, they do need to happen. We do want to keep those employees happy and around. But there's other areas, I go back to that swimming pool and some other projects that have come up, like, I don't know if it needed to be quite that lucrative. So just, for my reason, would just be get in and ask the questions, and when you get answers, just explain that to the public. Get in front of the public through different venues like this, meet and greets, let them have their say, and just explain to them. It doesn't feel like nobody's ever come to my door and explained to me the how and why. And if I didn't work for the city for 23 years, I would be oblivious as to why we're spending money on things. I just think it needs to get out there better and explained to citizens better. Here's what we're doing and why. And give them listening sessions or whatever before big purchases come up.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. How do you plan to strengthen economic development to support existing businesses and attract new businesses to Shakopee?
I'm not a huge advocate for the TIF money. Some of those I think have just been thrown in. What is it now? Shutterfly out in the Dean's Lake neighborhood is now vacant. I think looked like they were doing some work on it today. We got a couple big warehouses out there that are vacant. I think TIF money has a place, but if we look at Shakopee, how long it's been around, we have some pretty old, large commercial, heavy industrial buildings here, businesses here, and if we make ourselves attractive enough with infrastructure, like we had alluded to a little bit beforehand, good services, good, public safety, all that, those businesses will come without the TIF money. We have land, we have value, we're in an excellent location. I just don't think that sometimes TIF should be the first option to lure somebody in. I know we have the EDA and redoing some of the businesses and stuff downtown, the business fronts. I would really love to see some of that money spent. I do believe it was Eden Prairie and some other cities around us have given them loans to redo their fire protection systems. If you remember a few years back, there was a big push in Minneapolis, and they had a fire in a building that killed some people. We should be investing in that, because if one of our downtown businesses burns down, that's going to be a pretty massive loss for several businesses down there. So if we can look into avenues like that to help these businesses put in fire suppression systems, put in alarm systems, upgrade their building so it's there for the next 100 years, I think would be a massive improvement down there. There are some businesses that have slowly done it on their own pocket, which is great. So it would just be trying to work with some, the EDA and some of those groups around to try to help out some of those businesses. I don't know exactly which ones, but looking for grants and monies that way too.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. And how will you work to ensure transparency and communication between the City Council and Shakopee residents?
Like I alluded to earlier, just hosting some meeting or listening events, around town. I know some of our county commissioners and stuff will do events around through the city where they dedicate one weeknight every month or something. Then be, available through setting up some social media sites right now that I don't have done yet, setting those up where people can ask questions, email, telephone calls. I don't want anything to ever be a surprise. So my plan is to try to make as much time as I have available. I don't have young kids at home, but I still do work full time. So as much time as I have available to answer questions as citizens, sit down with them, if it's 20 minutes or if it's an hour or a meeting, maybe there's 10 people there. Give them the time, because like I said, there's many things that happen now in the city that I have no idea what or why. So if we can eliminate some of that, I think everybody will be happier. And then you kind of explain to them, here's the thought process, here's what we're thinking, here's where we're going forward, what is your opinion? And then, bring back, like I said, working some with our townships, ask more questions. Sometimes sat through some of those council meetings, and it was, me sitting in there had 2, 3, 4 questions, and nobody ever asked any questions. It was like, okay, why are we not asking questions? So I would bring questions up that were brought to me. I would bring it, hopefully bring it forward in front of the group so we can have a discussion in open forum, and just asking questions. Is this the right thing? I'm not saying we got to analyze something for 2 years, but maybe, analyze it for a month or two, and are we going the right way? And get that out to the citizens. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's their city.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. That is all of our questions. So I'd like to give you the opportunity to give your statement and closing message to the viewers.
Sure. I don't really have an exact, closing statement, but I guess one of the main reasons I'm running, like we had talked about, is just to make sure that we're a business-friendly place. We embrace new businesses and our existing businesses, given especially the existing ones that have already invested here, every opportunity for growth that they possibly can, within their segment. Maybe put a check or slow down some of our residential growth. I'm not saying I understand that we're not a small little city anymore, but at times, I just want to make sure that we're doing it the right way, we're growing the right locations, we're moving to the right areas, and we're not just doing something because we can. Focus on kind of that Dean Lakes area. We're doing a lot of growth along Canterbury. We're doing a lot of growth along Highway 101, down along Valley Fair there, and make sure that we're bringing in a big mix of, heavy industrial, light industrial, commercial businesses to support our tax base. And then I would really love to find more restaurants in our city. I think if anybody here has gone out to eat at 6, 7 o'clock on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, it's a long wait. So it's obvious that is something that is in need in our city, and I know we have some new restaurants opening. And then at the end, just make sure that we're treating everybody that lives and works here, especially the employees, with respect, honesty, integrity. Kind of work as a liaison between, hopefully work as a liaison between city council and, some of the city staff. Make sure that they have a venue to go to besides just their department head. If they do have a complaint, let them know that not every answer is going to be yes, but at least you'll be heard, And then just, put City of Shakopee first and its employees and citizens.
Great. Thank you, Ryan. The views expressed in these interviews are those of the candidates, not those of the Chamber and Visitors Bureau. The Chamber is sponsoring these interviews as a service to the community and has gone to great lengths to ensure the objectivity. The Chamber does not endorse any candidate but seeks to provide you, the citizens and voters of Shakopee, with the information you need to make an informed choice. The Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau extends a sincere thank you to the candidates. Again, thank you. We appreciate your time and your service to our community by running for office. You're performing an important service to us all. Again, thank you for joining us for this edition of Meet the Candidates 2024. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.